Good morning, how are you? And welcome to Psychic Catch-Up. I'm Kerry Waring, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm a psychic medium investigator, and I support you by investigating the spirit world and the spiritual and uncovering the answers that help you get unstuck and move you forward in your life. I investigate the spirit world to help you uncover who might be hanging around in your house if you feel like your house is haunted. And I certainly uncover those questions and answers to where you've lost a loved one and they've left you with lots of questions to their passing. So that's the stuff that I'm really passionate about. But here today, what I'm here to do is just share with you some education topics, discussions, all of those sort of things. And today's discussion and topic and sharing my understanding with you is actually about synchronicity and those so-called coincidences. And this topic came about because someone mentioned it on my page. I think it was my cousin actually, and I do have a little bit of a tendency to forget about what it's like to be new and awakening your spirituality, because for me that was over 20 years ago. So I sometimes do need a little reminder every now and then about what your needs are as if you're new to your spirituality and waking that up. So yes, I'm here. We're going to talk about that, and certainly I'm open to the fact that if anyone needs any insight, guidance, then we'll get to those as well. So thank you for being here. So really, those coincidences that we have in life, which is what most people will recognize them as, is certainly those moments where you sort of go, oh, wow, how did that happen? Or, you sort of meet someone that knows someone that has a very specific piece of information for you. And I'll just give you an example that happened for me sometime last year is that I was running one of my groups, and we just sort of started talking about the need for healing. And I know for those clients, I was very much wanting to be to help them with that need that they had at the time. While it wasn't in the scope of the class that we were running, it was certainly, I knew that I had the knowledge and the abilities to be able to help them with that. However, I didn't have a healing bed at the time. So in the talk, the discussion, basically, we spoke about that. I spoke up. I said I would need a healing bed, and just one of the other ladies in the group happened to have a spare one that she could lend me for a time. So if I hadn't have spoken up, that little piece of synchronicity is what I like to call them, wouldn't have happened to lead us forward, for then me to be then opening that service to them, for them to be receiving the healing that they needed. And that pretty much is really what you'll see with synchronicity. Now, I term it synchronicity because to me it values it more than just calling them coincidences. So it really values them as a place in my life, and I really do like to call it God's lighted pathway, because what they mean is it's the way forward. It's the universe showing you the road and the path that you should be walking and leading. Hi, June, how are you? Welcome. So it's the universe showing you the way, the direction that you should be walking. And this occurs by the fact that you're living from your heart space. One of the things I know about synchronicity is the fact that when you come and live from your heart space, synchronicity is a natural result. So it's a natural occurrence that the universe responds to you living from that heart space and will then respond and bring in what you need. So it'll bring in the people you need. It'll bring in, I'm good, thanks, June. How are you? It'll bring in the information that you need to move forward along that path. And this is what synchronicity is really about. It's about moving you forward in that direction, in that way. And the universe is a natural, it naturally springs, it naturally works. We don't have to think about it all that often. So the only job that we need to be doing is just really checking in and making sure that we're living from our heart space. And the natural flow of evolution, the natural flow of the universe supporting you. Good morning, Sharon. How are you? We'll see the fact that synchronicity and these coincidences will occur for you. It's not work that you have to do. It's not work that you have to seek out. They will just naturally occur for you just by you being open and witnessing them. So what you can do to bring them more into your life is to acknowledge them for what they are. Acknowledge a synchronistic event as a synchronistic event. Don't just poo-hoo it as, oh, it's some sort of coincidence and it has no meaning. You know, acknowledge it for the value that it has in your life and acknowledge it and act on it in the way that it is the universe moving you forward. Once you sort of see that and honor it in that way, what happens then is because you're valuing it, because you're honoring it, because you're taking action and living from your heart, you'll actually see more occurrence of them. Whereas if you devalue it and don't see the impact and don't acknowledge it, then you'll sort of recognize that it's just a little bit ho-hum for you. Whereas if you are honoring, in the space of honoring and really valuing it, becomes much more exciting and becomes much more a presence in your life. So that's what I would suggest, is just to see it as that. Now, I guess this discussion sort of, if anyone has any questions around all of this, please by all means ask your questions. I'm happy to answer them. So I guess this sort of begs the question is what's happening in life when we don't see that flow, when we don't see that flow of synchronicity, and when we don't, when we feel like we're sort of coming up and that this type of experience is not happening for you. When you see when the flow's not there, I guess is the common term for it. And there's two things that could be happening. I guess one is the fact that you're not meant to move forward right now. It's a time of reflection. It's a time of just being. It's a time of reevaluating and just connecting in with yourself. And the universe is sort of saying, hey, this is just where you're at right now. So if you if you are confident that you're living from your heart, and right now it's a quiet time of synchronicity and those coincidences, then that's what would be happening for you. If, on the other hand, you feel a little disconnected, if you feel you've lost your way a little bit, if you feel the common term for what you feel blocked, and as a result, your synchronicity has dried up, and it feels like the universe has stopped showing you the way forward, then what's happened here is you've stopped listening. You are disconnected from the heart space a little bit. And as a result, then the universe is sort of got a little bit confused and saying, I'm not sure which is the way for you right now, because we're just a little disconnected from you. So in this moment, and because I said synchronicity is a natural result of living from your heart, I wish you could see all my hands going everywhere. I'm so expressive with them when I talk about this stuff. Yes, synchronicity being a natural result of your heart, so that when we do disconnect for whatever reason, whether it's fear, doubt, we've got life just getting in the way, and we're sort of unsure of ourselves, then for a time, the universe can hold itself up. It will dry up the flow of synchronicity. It's just a natural result. It's a natural occurrence. So what you do in those times is you take a moment to just come back to yourself. You know, you take some time out in solitude and really focus on connecting with your heart space more. It's those times that, and I know we're in busy times. I know life is busy for lots of people. But it's really this sort of, what can you do to reinstigate that connection if you feel like you need to? You know, perhaps it is meditation. Perhaps it's, my favorite is journaling. You know, it's mindfulness and just being aware of your inner world and how you feel. It's creating that connection to your heart and what's within you. You know, it's perhaps having a conversation, what I call a daily soul conversation. It's just having a conversation with your heart space, and it helps to hold your hand over your heart when you ask those kind of questions. And if you follow this page at all, you'll see that coming up, we have a daily soul conversation that gets posted 7 o'clock every morning. Yes, Anne, I love that word too. That's why I think I've seen it somewhere and I've adopted it. It's in solitude, you know. I do love that word. It's a favorite of mine. And we do need those times, however that works for us, even if it's just in the shower, you know, you're in the bathroom, whatever it might be. We do need those times. So it's about that connection, and when we have that connection to our heart space and we're acting on what it's telling us, we're living from that space. So we're not living to obligation, we're not living to what other people are expecting of us, we're living to our truth and what our heart says. Synchronicity is the natural result that you'll see from the universe, and it's the universe's way of leading you forward. It's the universe's way of saying, hey, this is the direction. And all we are meant to do is follow that guidance, follow that pathway, have faith and trust, which I know is easier said than done. Hello, Tammy, first time watcher. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. I hope you've caught the gist of the conversation. And I'm certainly, as I said at the beginning, hello, Olivia. Thank you for being here. It was today's conversation and topic of discussion was in response to a question and needing some information on the topic of why are coincidences important. Thank you, Sharon. But certainly, you know, moving on from that discussion, so if you haven't seen it, you may need to watch the video back, but I am happy to be taking some questions for guidance. Tammy, happy to do a reading by all means. There are some guidelines, so I'll just go over those guidelines for you. I ask that you like the page. I ask that you like and share the live stream. This way, it's pretty much in a, for me, it's about reciprocal energy. It's about me giving and you giving and us an equal sharing of the energies in a give and take scenario. That's what that's about for me. Second, I ask that if you want a reading, you comment that you've liked and shared, and then you ask your specific question. I only work with specific questions here in this format. I don't do general readings. One, because a specific question will speak of your need, which then draws down on my intuition far more quickly. And it is a bit of a time constraint here. So by all means, yep, happy to do that. And if you would just follow the guidelines, then we're all good. Thank you, Tammy. I can see you sharing and you're liking. Okay, and I am keeping a, Tammy wants to know if you'll ever find love again. Okay, I hear the term 3 years to that, Tammy, but I'm not really 100% sure whether it's been 3 years single or whether it's been 3 years coming, because I do feel like you've been in a space of what I call self-discovery. It's about, you know, coming into your own as a woman, coming into your own power, and really sort of recognizing things like what works for you in life and deciding your direction of life and where you want to go and how, and the kind of relationship that does work for you. And this is all really important stuff for you to be processing. So while we don't always understand that that's what's going on a soul level, we just know that we're not having it turn up in our life. So I do feel that when, Tammy, I do feel that when this is sorted for you, and I hear the term end of the year, okay, so once this is sorted for you, then I sort of sense and feel basically that love will come into your life. I need you to be really open here, Tammy. Been single coming up on 6 years. Okay. I need you to be really open with this, you know, because I certainly feel like a same-sex relationship type energy coming in here as well. So I just need you to be open and mindful, and by all means, if that's not resonating, then it's not resonating, but I'm just sharing with you what I'm feeling. So I do feel like you've been going through a process. And so what I would suggest for you in this moment is to bring that in quicker for you, to move it forward and consolidate it, would be, and if you would be to sit down and order your list up to the universe, basically, is write out what you want, not just in a partner, but also in the relationship and how you want to feel. Okay, so just get really clear on that stuff, and then put it out to the universe and know that you are walking forward with it, because I do feel like it is coming for you, and that process will sort of start bringing it in, you know, towards the end of the year, even if it does take another couple of years for it to come in. So just know that everything that you're going through is about that. Thank you. Sharon wants to know, what can I do to boost my tarot business? Okay, just give me a minute to tune in there, Sharon. Okay. Okay, so just quickly, Tammy just said that she loves men. And I thought that may have been the case. That's why I was saying I feel like you need to be really, really open. So, yeah. Okay. So just looking where I was, Sharon, what can you do to boost your tarot business? Okay. Okay, firstly, just around on that, Sharon, I'm actually getting a little bit that fear is a block. So on a spiritual level, I would suggest uncovering the fear and working through that. And as I'm talking about that, I'm hearing not good enough. I feel like I'm not good enough. So, so working through that sense belief, and Sharon, just let me tell you that that is so common. It's a real common experience. And Tammy, I can see that comment, and yeah, I wouldn't be that open either. It's there for a reason though. So, so yeah. Okay. So Sharon, yeah, just working through the fear and the lack of self-belief that's with you there a little bit. And just know that you're not on your own there. Like, that's been my journey, my experience too. And I would certainly be suggesting working through that. You'll find that each time you shift into that a little more, you'll come into a little bit of an expansion. Secondly, I would suggest that from my own experience, I can tell you that Facebook Lives do help. Facebook Lives, and, you know, like if you're watching any of online marketing, they will tell you that 80% of our marketing should be in video. So, so be brave with that, open that up, and do it in a way that sets you out from the rest, uniqueness, you know. So, so think about it in that way. That's what I would suggest. Yeah, that's where I would go with that, Sharon. June wants to know, is her father-in-law okay, and why we don't feel him around, please? Okay. June, what if I sort of suggested to you about your father-in-law? Would it be for him that he would have a belief that sort of once you're dead, you know, and that's it, it's all said and done? Because I have a sense of him being at peace, absolutely being at peace, but I don't have a sense of him being around conscious, being around connected with family. I have, and every now and then I have come across spirits that are like this when I've done readings, is that there's, you know, they're totally at peace, but it's like they're sleeping, you know. And yeah, it's like they're sleeping, and that they're in that space of, they, you know, they have a belief that once you're dead, and that's it, I'm done. Okay, so that was his attitude. Okay, if that was his attitude, June, then that's that belief system is transferring through to him to the afterlife, and that's why you're not necessarily sensing him around. But I can feel he's absolutely at peace. So just take that and know that he's being him, and that's it. So so thank you. Okay. Okay, so Tammy, let's just take, hoping you're still there, let's just take it as the fact that I felt, if I'm interpreting that or placing that same-sex relationship connection somewhere, and I know, because I did have a sense that that wasn't you, as in that you're heterosexual, needing to be open to it. So whether or not you just needed to, maybe you need to venture into that little world a bit, not so much for you, but maybe you need to connect with someone that is of the same sex, that will bring someone into your life. You know, just look at it that way. But a same-sex connection is important in some way in this journey for you. So, so while I may have interpreted it as in meaning you need to be that open, maybe it's just venturing into that social aspect a little bit, and someone will bring a connection to you in that way. So think about it along those lines in some way. Okay. Just to reiterate that I have some guidelines if you're wanting a reading, please. Those guidelines are the fact that you like the page, that you share the live stream for me, help me get my work out there. And secondly, that when you comment, you comment that you have shared and that you have a specific question. I'm really only working with specific questions today. 3 parts to your question. Well, let's just see how we go. Will you get the loan for the house? Is the house we put a deposit on the right one for us? And will we move before the baby is born? I can tell you no, you won't move before the baby is born. That was a straight up no. I feel like it's going to take longer than expected. Will you get the loan for the house? Is this the second loan that you've applied for? Because I do feel like that there's a bit of a process there, Olivia. Okay. Mia, I'm going to settle down. Okay. Mia, I think you need to ask that question again for me, please. Okay, Catherine, this is from your friend. Can you give me clarification as to what is happening at work for me? What can I see future being for me, Deb? Deb, does feel like that there's changes happening at your work. Certainly does feel like that. Okay, it certainly feels... Okay, Deb, this feels like it can go either way for you. So it feels, I want you to decide what you want out of this, because I certainly feel like in the changes at your work, they are going to be letting people go. But I feel like with you, it can be either way. Is that what you want to happen? Do you want to stay there, or do you want some sort of payout and move on to a new beginning? That's totally up to you. The new beginning will mean you have new choices to make and a new direction to unfold. But the universe is not going to decide this for you. It feels like it's totally up to you. So you need to sort of sit down, get your journal out, write, you know, what do you see in your future? What do you want? You know, because you are creating this. So just know that, yes, there are changes happening. They will be letting people go. But right now, for you, it's on the fence. And what you put into that energy will determine the outcome. Okay. Yes, Sharon, work on the confidence. And what I can tell you, Sharon, is that I do have a mediumship academy. Okay, so I do have a fortnightly class where I can support you in gaining that confidence. It's $47 a month. It's one-on-one, and not one-on-one, sorry, it's a small group, it's an intimate group, it's via Zoom. But, you know, the confidence comes from a couple of things. It comes from the doing, but also comes from being supported, having other people around you, believing in you, which will make it easier. So, so please consider that, Sharon. And it doesn't matter where you live. Okay. I'm glad you're loving today's live. Thanks, Jam. Hi, Marguerite. Hi, Jeanette Marie. Okay, so Mia wants to know when she's going to settle down. She has done everything. So Mia, are you talking about a long-term relationship, please? Okay. Okay, so Olivia, I felt like it was the second approval, the second home loan approval that would see you through to buying the house, to getting the house that you're wanting. So if this is the second process of it, then yes, it will come to fruition. Heather Frink, what do I see in your financial future, please? Thanks for your time and effort. Okay, so Heather, I actually see a up and down line. So I certainly see that there are things where your financial future is more challenging for you, and then there are times when it's okay. What I'm hearing is this is going to continue for you until October, when it sort of starts to settle out for you. And this is a change that you create. So if that's a job change, if that's getting a job, any of those things, it happens October. So so for now, you need strategies, you need some financial strategies to help you around managing your finances. Okay. Okay. Oh, thanks, Jem. Mediumship class is fabulous. Okay, hello, Miguel. Mia, yes. Okay, so that's a yes to you're looking to know when you're going to have a long-term relationship. Okay. Okay, just tuning in here a little bit. Okay. Okay, Mia, I just sense being in a space of having relationships that are not working out. But what you need to be doing is looking at those relationships and what are you learning from them. Okay, what are they teaching you about what you like about relationships, what works? What are they teaching you about your self-esteem and what to accept and what not to accept? The sooner we can get a handle on that, then the better the universe can bring you exactly what you're looking for. Because it's not, we do create. I'm a big believer in the fact that we create our lives. So you're on the path to that, but I want you to more strongly be looking at how these relationships are helping you see stuff about yourself and what needs to change. And the sooner that you can do that, the quicker it will come in. Oh, Catherine, traveling overseas this year and where? Because I know you, I can knock you over the head for that. Okay, so I will say to people, if people want to delve into these questions, if they want to delve into understanding more about how you can create them more quickly, how you can create these ideas and what you're trying to manifest more strongly, then certainly consider a private session with me, because we will come up with an action plan that will have you on that path. I will delve into, like Mia, for you, for example, I will delve into exactly what you need to uncover to bring in a relationship. You know, what is it about your self-esteem? What are the strategies that you need to help improve that? Okay. So, okay, so Catherine says, correct. Will you be traveling overseas? Catherine, I will say universe is not going to make that happen for you. I do feel like it's a goal you need to work towards financially. And in regards to where, I feel like that's just a choice for you. It doesn't feel like that there's the universe picking a place for you. It feels like it could be a choice. What I would say is it does feel like it needs to be relaxing. I'm sort of seeing images of, you know, Hawaii beach, that type of thing. So it really is a little bit of a relaxing you know, taking time out kind of holiday. But that opportunity is definitely there for you, Catherine. It just will sort of take you putting money aside and working towards it. Okay. Miguel, like, should I take the other position? I hear the answer no. The question, yeah, the answer no to that. So just stick with the one you're taking. Olivia, is the house we put the deposit on the right house for me and my family? Is it the right energy flow, etc.? I'm sort of like going, why are you questioning it? If you're questioning it, then perhaps it isn't right. You know, so I do feel like it would be good. I do feel like it has a basis to be a really nice family home for you. It depends what you're wanting out of it. But if you're questioning it, I wouldn't be purchasing a house that I'm questioning. Okay. Hello, Miss Susan. How are you? I miss you too. Any message for you? I feel like I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe. I want you to take time for you. And is the weather clearing over there as yet? Can you get back out into your walks? Because I feel like you need something along those lines. Okay. Margaret, please, I need a more specific question than that. Like, what's my future, please? That's a fairly general question, and what I'm doing here is more specific. So if you can ask a more specific question as to what area. Have a look at some of the other questions people are asking. Okay, Lee. Based on the fact that we just had a session not too long ago, I would say don't move house yet. Focus on getting the job, fixing the finances. Your needs will change and then move. So if you can stay put for now, and as we talked about before, bring the job in. You know, focus on the job, fix the finances, do that, and then you can fix the make the move. Making a move won't fix your financial situation if that's where you're coming at with that. Yeah, it won't fix. Okay. I said specific. Lol. Well, I got there in the end. Hey, Catherine. You've seen that too. Well, go for it. Just, yeah, just that stuff. Just don't question. Just go for it. Mia wants to know if she's going to get her claim. Yes, it just won't be as much as what you think it is. Okay, June, let me I will post under your comment when I'm finished the link to my webpage that has all that information. And when you click through to book, you'll be able to then book a time as well. So I'll do that for you. But and Olivia says she's questioning it because a lot of people are saying it's not right, but you personally love it. Don't listen to other people. Have faith in your own ability to choose it and to know what's right for you and your family. You know what, that really comes down to, you know, you and your partner and how you feel. And if it feels right for you, have faith in yourself enough to know you know what is right for you. And as I said, I certainly feel like it can have good energy, the basis of a nice family feel to it, you know. So, yeah, so don't listen to other people. If you're personally questioning it, don't buy it. But if it's just because about what other people think, then, you know, don't worry about that. The girls are enjoying a live. I'll give a shout out to the girls. How you going? Oh, I hear you, Lee. Rent is so high here, but it's still not going to fix your financial situation, because you will still find yourself feeling like you're struggling and having those same sort of issues, just in a different house. So the actual fix is to put your energy into bringing in a job. What is the source of such angst toward me from my sister? Okay, so you're her mirror. Okay, you're her mirror. It's like, I made a post yesterday on my page about sometimes how we have these relationship issues, and for those of us that are what people call light workers, it's not a term that I use, but generally it's for those of us that are more spiritual, and where we have in our family units relationship challenges and breakdowns and struggles and conflict, basically. When this happens, we often look at it and go, hey, you know, I'm a bad person, because that's how they're making me feel. But at the end of the day, one of the things that's going on from a spiritual perspective, from a soul perspective, and from a soul agreement perspective, is the fact that we're actually holding space for other people to learn what they need to learn, for what they need to see about themselves and their soul. And Susan, I actually feel you standing there and reflecting the light back. And this is what she's struggling with. This is what she's struggling with, accepting that light and seeing that light for herself. So what your experience from her is her pushing away on a soul level, resisting, and that's coming out in all the angst. So in this instance, I would absolutely just, you know, send her love, give yourself love, because it's painful and it hurts. And just know that it's not actually about you, it's actually about her. Okay, June, so if you go to my website, kerrywaring.com, and just look up the readings page and it's there for you. Yeah, so Susan, know that it's about that. So this has been a great little time hanging out with you guys. And by all means, if there is any sort of topical questions, you know, educational questions that you have around spirituality, around mediumship, any of those things that you'd like me to come on here live, have a chat, give you more insight about, more understanding, like I did with today's earlier discussion on coincidences, then please just, you know, let me know anytime. You know, so by all means, thank you for dropping by, guys. Thank you for being with me. And I hope all those little insights and questions helped. And wishing you a great week. So God bless and see you again soon.